Literature gives us the opportunity to experience lives, perspectives, and worlds different from our own. Though remember, friend, a good story has many readings, and this is but one. Who knew living a double life could be so fun? At your country estate, you're an upright moral citizen. But when you travel to the city, you assume a fictional identity and indulge in degenerate behavior. Ooh, and it's quite thrilling, because if your secret is ever revealed, you're at risk of losing everything. No, I'm not talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Not yet, at least. I'm talking about Jack Worthing, the title character of Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. Because Jack is also Earnest, though Earnest doesn't actually exist. Except he kinda does, actually. Now, that all made perfect sense for anyone who's already familiar with the play, but I can tell from the look on your face that you're not in that camp. Not to worry, Zoe and I will help you untangle this deceit-woven web. Thanks so much to Brilliant for continuing to support our passion for lifelong learning. So you haven't read The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. Oh, I envy you. I mean, I wish I could jump back in time just so I could experience it again for the first time. Wilde was a master of wit and wordplay, and Earnest is arguably his greatest achievement. Subtitled, A Trivial Play for Serious People. On its surface, the play is as light as whipped cream. But once you've savored that delicious topping, you'll discover a pretty savage takedown of Victorian-era hypocrisy. So strap on your spats. We're heading to 1890s London. You are Jack Worthing, an outwardly perfect Victorian gentleman. On your large country estate, you strictly adhere to appropriate morality, duty, and decorum. But being moral all the time can be a terrible bore. So you've invented a fictional brother named Earnest. And whenever you need to blow off a little steam, you tell everyone at your estate that you have to go bail Earnest out of trouble, then travel to London, where you pretend to be Earnest. This has worked out great for you, except for a few problems. First, back at your estate, your ward Cecily is so enthralled with your stories about your fake brother that she's kinda starting to fall for him. Ooh, okay, well, maybe it's time to forego that double life and kill off your fictional sibling before this gets out of hand, huh? Well, easier said than done, because in London, when you're pretending to be Earnest, you've fallen for a woman named Gwendolyn. And in your infinite wisdom, you decide to propose to her, to which she immediately agrees. But she makes it clear that the main reason she wants to marry you is because your name is Earnest. As she feels the name inspires absolute confidence. I guess because the name Earnest sounds like being earnest or something? I don't know. So you're spinning a lot of plates. Furthermore, Gwendolyn's cousin, named Algernon, is your good friend who lives in London, and he's found evidence of your double life and refuses to give you permission to marry Gwendolyn unless you spill the tea about being Earnest. So you confess it all. But then to make things even more hectic, Algernon becomes fixated on the detail that your ward Cecily, whom he adores, has taken a romantic interest in the fictional Earnest. Regardless of that little fixation, now that you revealed the truth to Algernon, he happily supports your engagement. But then, unfortunately, her mother, Lady Bracknell, refuses to offer her consent until you can answer a few questions about your parentage. However, you confess you never met your real parents. Your adoptive father found you abandoned in a handbag at a London rail station. Ooh, that could have gone better. Well. You return home to your country estate, determined to put an end to this foolishness, and report that Earnest has died. But just after you've told the household about Ernest's tragic demise, Algernon appears with Cecily. Turns out he arrived before you did, and claimed that he was your brother Earnest. And now there's no way you can reveal the truth without confessing your double life. Now, being stuck with a double life was something that Oscar Wilde knew a bit about, because while he was a well-respected married writer, he was also a gay man who had to hide his sexual orientation because homosexuality was against the law in England. And while the 1895 debut of The Importance of Being Earnest was the zenith of his career, it also marked the moment where his carefully kept secret started to unravel. On opening night, the Marquis of Queensberry, the father of Wilde's lover Lord Alfred Douglas, accused the writer of being gay. Wishing to preserve his reputation, Wilde decided to sue the Marquis. But during the trial, strong evidence of Wilde's sexuality was revealed. He ended up being convicted of the crime gross indecency and was sentenced to 2 years hard labor, which effectively ended his days of literary success. And it wasn't until 2017 that Wilde, along with thousands of other unjustly convicted men, were posthumously pardoned in the wake of the passage of the Turing Law in the UK. Over 100 years too late to do him any good, mind you. And again, not until 2017. And while Wilde's legal infamy led to Victorian audiences turning their backs on The Importance of Being Earnest, the play is today celebrated as a masterpiece. Speaking of celebrating, back in the play, Cecily has agreed to marry Algernon. Hooray! though primarily because she thinks his name is Ernest, also ironically believing the name inspires absolute confidence. I mean, my name's Matt, but that doesn't mean I'm a small rug. You know what? Never mind. But when Gwendolyn arrives unannounced at your estate, she and Cecily meet and come to believe they're both engaged to the same man. In the process of clearing up this confusion, it's revealed that neither you nor Algernon are actually named Ernest, and your paramours leave in a huff. But before you can make amends, Lady Bracknell arrives in pursuit of Gwendolyn. Oh no. But Lady B's attitude towards you softens once she sees your considerable estate. Oh yeah. Plus, the ladies don't stay mad at you for long, though Lady Bracknell still refuses to allow the marriage because of your unknown social status, of course. That is until, through a supremely unlikely coincidence, it's revealed that you and Algernon are in fact long-lost brothers. You're upper class after all. And what's more, a little bit of research reveals that your birth name actually was Earnest. Haha, so the fictions you've been living, both about having a brother in London and about being named Ernest, both turn out to be completely true. Then Gwendolyn happily agrees to forgive you for being totally honest with her the whole time, and you finally see the importance of being earnest. A large underlying theme of Wilde's play is that Victorians cared more about the appearance of morality than actual morality. Jack can't maintain his reputation in the country if he behaves like he does in London under his real name, but that bad behavior isn't nearly as much a strike against him as his unknown parentage. In the end, Jack may be a liar and a hypocrite, but he's an upper-class liar and hypocrite. So to Lady Bracknell, and by inference London society, that's all that really matters. In his lifetime, Wilde wasn't able to restore his own reputation, as he died in self-exile in Paris just a few years after being released from jail. So, even though The Importance of Being Earnest purports to be a trivial play, it also reveals the very serious consequences that people faced if they lost their reputation. A heavy message to be sure. But Wilde's sharp dialogue, absurd situations, and broad characters make it a hilarious romp. Seriously, there's so much sugar on this spoon that you might not even notice the medicine at all if you're not paying attention. So, you should head down to your library or check out your local theater listings to experience The Importance of Being Earnest for yourself. Because I think it goes without saying at this point, it's a truly brilliant novel. Which does dovetail nicely into something else I'm earnestly wild about, our friends over at Brilliant. As I'm sure you know by now, tons of us in the EC community are super passionate lifelong learners, but who also prefer to learn on our own schedule. Which is why we think Brilliant, the interactive learning environment focusing on the whole STEM set, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, is perfect for learning at your own pace in a fun and interactive way, replacing traditional lectures with hands-on lessons, complete with visual examples and a storytelling approach that is super engaging. In fact, this last week, Jeff took a break from reviewing fundamentals in foundational computer science to take a course on solar energy because he wanted to know exactly how those things on his roof work. And because a few upcoming scripts got me thinking about some mathematical concepts I didn't know too much about, I decided to dive fully off the deep end and learn about the concepts of knowledge and uncertainty themselves. After all, if I know the math behind uncertainty, that would mean I know how to get rid of it, huh? So if you're a curious learner, just starting out, or at the height of your career, you can check out Brilliant to level up your learning by going to brilliant.org/extra credits and signing up for free. Not to mention, the first 200 people that go to that link will also get 20% off an annual premium subscription, which added bonus really does help out our channel in the process. Aw, look at you being all smart and kind at the same time. Thanks for that. Oh, I didn't see you there, Kyle Murgatroyd, Joseph Blame, Dominic Valenciana, Casey Muscha, Arcolite Games, Angelo Valenciana, Alicia Bramble, and Ahmed Ziad Turk. Y'all are the best.